Good evening and welcome to the first episode of BMS Creation Notes. In this series of videos, I will explain and demonstrate the process of creating BMS files, also known as bmusic source files or bmusic script files. We will cover all the essentials from making key sounds to creating note charts. In this first episode, I will talk a little bit about the history of the BMS format. BMS is a format developed by Urao Jane and NBK in 1998 for use in the game BM98, which is a game that simulates the gameplay of Beatmania, a popular arcade title released by Konami. In Japan, the term BMS player is used to describe games that can read and simulate BMS files. The BMS format has developed a lot since its first debut thanks to community effort. Originally, the format was used for gameplay with 5 keys and a disc, and had a limit of 256 unique sounds and images. Later on, the format was expanded to support 7 keys and a disc similar to Beatmania 2DX. The extension was dubbed bmusic extend, and had the file name extension BME. This extension was made popular around the year of 2000 with the development of BM98 Drink Edition and several new BMS players, such as Not So BM Play by Tunji, Rhythmit by NVU, and many more. Over the years, the format, players and community have developed, and now the two most popular players are Lunatic Grave 2 in Japan and Ruvit in Korea. Both players are considered de facto standard for BMS, though Lunatic Grave 2 has a significantly larger user base. Lunatic Grave 2's development perished in 2009, and rumor has it that this happened because the developer of Lunatic Grave 2 lost the source code in a hard drive failure. Lunatic Grave 2 and Ruvit both offer their own internet rankings where your scores are saved online. These players also contain many new features previous players did not have or support, such as Og Vorbis playback and movie format playback. New BMS players have been created and are still in development to this day, but they are outshined by Lunatic Grave 2 even though they are more user-friendly and have newer features. Majority of BMS players do not come bundled with any songs. Therefore, to help people gather a set of songs, there are starter packs such as BMS Starter Pack 2006 through 2009, hosted by Yamayet, Genocide BMS Starter Package, hosted by Lobsack, and the Korea BMS Starter Packs that come bundled with Ruvit. These packs are not released very often, and many of them include songs that are already published instead of being exclusive to the package, as most BMS artists distribute their songs in BMS events. BMS events are competitions that are usually held online. An artist can submit his or her song to be downloaded and evaluated by anyone. Sometimes they're just events where the artists submit the songs for people to download without competing against other artists. The currently largest running BMS event is called the BMS of Fighters and is an annual occurrence. This event gets hundreds of submissions every year as well as thousands of impressions. The biggest event as of this video is Daikessen the BMS of Fighters 2015 with 458 submissions and over 20,000 impressions. Impression in this context refers to a vote, where you can leave your name, a score and a comment. There are also themed events such as Toho Ondan Yugi, where you have to submit a cover, remix or arrangement of a song from Toho project. Most of the events are held in Japanese, which might complicate things for those incapable of reading the language, thus turning them away, but some events are held in English in an attempt to reach a more global audience. The annual Korean BMS event, Pabat, is in Korean, Japanese and English, which is helpful for understanding the rules properly. BMS has aged really well, but at the same time, the format has some disadvantages that do not work well with today's standards, such as having a hard limit of 1295 key sounds. This limit forces artists to leave less freedom to chart creators by having to mix down some sounds into a single background track. The format was perfect at the time because artists had to think about conserving hard drive space more than anything, and the songs weren't as complex as they are today. Anyway, that's all for now, but thanks for watching this first episode of BMS Creation Notes, and stay tuned for the next episode where we will talk about the key sound process.